And good morning and welcome to the video live stream for the WSJM Morning Show. I'm Ken Lundberg, and right over there in the bright red shirt is Mike Weibel. Good morning, Mike. How are
Good
you?
morning. Good, Ken. How you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you. You had a good weekend?
Did. Very good. Very
What'd
good.
you golf yesterday when you were in the rain for 6 hours?
What did I golf?
Yeah, I mean, what was your final score?
It was match play.
What does that mean?
Match play means you just win or lose holes.
Oh,
So
isn't that like skins or something like that?
no, it's different.
Different?
Yeah.
Okay. Similar?
No,
Okay.
no, not really.
I do know about golf. I've been playing since high school. I just never played other
Well, it's
than
all
straight
those
up.
little, you get into all that.
Okay,
I mean,
so
it's
what's
a-
match play? So match play is hole to hole.
Right.
So one up, one down,
Right.
two up.
So you can concede a hole. If you're going to lose a hole, you just give
I
it up.
usually concede. Yeah.
So
All right. So what was the final?
the points wise, there was.
See, if you have to explain it,
Well,
you got to change the scoring.
Yeah, so it was 23-25 was the final score, and Team Jackson is the winner of this year's Harbor Shores Cup.
Nice.
Team Josh
Okay.
he's the general manager at Harbor Shores. Jackson is the pro.
Okay.
Josh won last year. Jackson won this year. So, and I played with Mason Durlam, who's an assistant pro, and Ryan Clem, who's also a pro there. So it was a lot of fun. We had a blast. Todd Brooks from Arcadia Gardens.
Oh.
I went to high school. Well, really, I went to elementary and junior high and high school with Todd. But yeah, we had a blast, even though we were soaking wet. And
at any point, was there a thought of, it's gonna keep raining for a few more hours here? Maybe we call it.
yeah. And we were in hole number 5, and it started raining so hard we decided to hunker down in the cart.
Oh man!
So we sat for about 5 minutes, and then they were like, "It's not getting any better. Let's just keep going."
Were you prepared? Did you have your rain gear in your bag?
Yeah, a little bit, but my rain gear got soaked. I did bring a couple extra towels, so it was. It was. I mean, again, it was fun. It was a great event. Just not the best golf weather.
That's good. Okay. Well, we're glad that you're not sopping wet and you're here today.
Thank you.
And then we actually had to train Mike a little bit on the water situation here.
Yeah.
Well, we get well water, and for some reason we don't use the well water for our coffee maker.
Right.
So we have the water cooler over there, which brings up a whole nother discussion I don't even want to get into, other than to say sometimes people put notes on the water cooler about refilling it and stuff like that.
Oh, that, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we actually have our water cooler right next to the coffee maker, and the guy who fills the coffee maker will take a pitcher and go to the sink and fill it up with water and dump it in as he walks past the water cooler.
Why?
That's a question we ask ourselves quite often.
All right.
Why?
Well, we've got a lot to talk about. We'll touch on some politics because we're getting close. I think Thursday is when folks in Michigan, communities in Michigan, start sending out the absentee ballots.
Yep.
So that's this Thursday, and there are other things. Oh, well, we should also talk about the best fall travel destination. I'll quiz Mike a little bit about that. So that's coming up. And what else should we talk about this morning?
I think my wife would say the Dominican Republic.
That's the best fall travel destination. Anywhere but here.
That's right.
All right. It's the WSJM Morning Show video live stream. Thanks for watching us. We appreciate you.
Yes, we do.
And we will be back in just a moment.
And running through the city streets.
There's 6 bulls on the loose on our street. And here come the cowboys.
The enormous escapees making their way to a residential neighborhood. Ranch hands carried out metal fences to corral the animals, working with local police and volunteers to steer them into a transport vehicle.
Baseball Chicago White Sox lost to the San Diego Padres for their record-tying 120th loss of the season. I'm Brian Clark, ABC News.
Are not valid in all states or prohibited by law. Loans are subject to lender approval. See website for details.
Bills piling up? Rent due? Need cash help but have bad or no credit? Then you need to go to FastLoansAI.com, where you can get approved for a loan of up to $10,000 regardless of your credit score. FastLoansAI.com is one of the largest lender networks. Their advanced technology can help anyone get up to $10,000. Best part? Money can be in your bank account as fast as the same day. When you need fast cash, go to FastLoansAI.com. That's FastLoansAI.com.
From the Pat Moody Studios, this is News Talk Sports 94.9. WSJM FM Benton Harbor, St. Joseph. Depend on us. WSJM News now. Team coverage from the WSJM newsroom on News Talk Sports 94.9 WSJM.
Good morning and welcome to the WSJM Morning Show. I'm Ken Lundberg. My guest co-host this morning is Mike Weibel. It's 7:05. We've got a lot to talk about this morning. First, the weather forecast. It's, currently the temperatures outside. We're looking at 59 degrees, mostly cloudy skies in Benton Harbor, 61 and mostly cloudy in St. Joseph. It'll feel a few degrees cooler than that as you get out there because it's a little bit breezy. Forecast for today does call for partly cloudy or partly sunny skies, rather. Mild temperatures, a high somewhere between 70 and 72. North winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. That's what's keeping us cooler. Tonight's forecast, increasing cloudiness, a 40% chance of showers, a low around 60. Northeast winds 5 to 10. And then tomorrow's forecast, mostly cloudy, a 60% chance of showers tomorrow, or maybe even some thunderstorms. No thunderstorms yesterday, right? No, just rain. Just torrential rain on Mike's golf game. High around 70, east winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Wednesday, partly sunny, high around 73. Thursday, mostly sunny, a high around 75. And then we get to Friday where it's partly sunny, and the forecast might have about 20% chance of rain, low around 57 and a high around 78. Tigers beat the Baltimore Orioles yesterday 4-3. They're currently one game ahead of the Minnesota Twins for in the wild card standings.
Yep.
Yeah, they made the leap when the Minnesota Twins lost both games of a doubleheader to the Boston Red Sox on Sunday. So yeah, Detroit on August 10th they were 55 and 63 and 10 games out of the third wild card spot. Now today they're one game ahead of the Minnesota Twins.
Fire.
They are in fuego, as we say.
Yes.
Yeah. So we'll have more. They're going to play the Tampa Bay Rays. That starts today. You can hear that game right here on WSJM. And then after those three games, they'll play the Chicago White Sox. So I guess, I mean, we'll see how it goes. But the wild card, we're just going to knock on wood at this point. That's all.
I would think they're in a pretty good spot.
We're just going to say we're going to knock on wood.
Okay.
Lions beat the Arizona Cardinals 20-13. We'll have the full sports report.
Yes.
From Dave Wolf coming up in just a moment. In the news from the WSJM newsroom, as the weather cools and the days shorten, the Michigan Department of Natural Resources is starting the process of removing swim buoys from many state park beaches. The DNR says swim buoys help mark the boundaries of a swim area, which are established to help identify locations where the shallower water is and lower risks of dangerous currents and waves. The DNR inspects those areas about every 2 weeks, and they adjust them throughout the summer as needed to maximize safety. However, once the buoys are removed, as they're doing right now, the area is no longer considered a swim area. While the beach remains open to the public, swimming is not recommended. The DNR says visitors to beach parks should exercise caution when entering the water, as they would at any other non-designated swim area. The DNR typically places the buoys and warning flags at beaches before Memorial Day and then removes them after Labor Day. So for the next several months, approach the water at your own risk. Hundreds of veterans gathered on Friday for the annual Stand Down event held by the Berrien County Veterans Services Office. Director Maureen Adams explains the whole idea behind the Veterans Stand Down.
They originally were designed for homeless veterans and kind of became a big community event so that veterans can find out what resources are available to them.
The event included community group representatives helping connect veterans with information and services. Adams says she wants veterans to know that there is help available for a wide range of needs.
We've got, of course, the VA here to help them with enrollment, My Healthy Vet, that kind of stuff. You've got your county veteran service officers to help you do all your benefit claims. And then we have a ton of community vendors out here. Everything from Meals on Wheels to veteran employment services. A lot of community vendors to let veterans know they're here to help.
Adams says in the future they may pivot to a festival where there's more activities for the entire family. The Michigan Department of Transportation has applied for a federal grant to study traffic crashes involving wildlife around the state. MDOT's Amanda Novak tells us the funding through the U.S. Department of Transportation's Wildlife Crossings pilot program would help MDOT develop a plan to prevent wildlife crashes.
That's going to look at where the crash locations are, where the known species information is, and it's going to generate a GIS-based layer that's going to show us where these are across the state.
Novak says the study will help identify the top 20 locations in Michigan for wildlife crashes. Right now, MDOT does not really have that kind of information.
I do have some ideas on where some of these might end up being just based on my travels and the data collection I've been doing in the field, but overall, we don't know at this point.
Novak says with a detailed picture of where and how wildlife crashes happen in Michigan, MDOT could develop a plan for preventing them. She says mitigation measures could be implemented using culverts and bridges to corral animals toward different areas so they aren't crossing the roads in those spots where they're getting hit by cars. The study would look at all animals, not just deer. So Novak says included would be deer, elk, bear, moose, geese, and even turtles.
Turtles.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't you think that they should do some type of tutorial for wildlife? They already have signs up that say crossing,
Mike,
and yet they jaywalk and they get hit. And somehow that's our fault.
They have been holding webinars for a long time, and they just can't get them to attend. Without the opposable thumb, they can't get online.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, seriously, though, MDOT is seeking $460,000 of federal funds, and then they would match it with another $116,000 in state funds for that study.
And they'll probably find out they're getting hit where the signs are.
Yeah, right?
Right.
Yeah, where somebody, because somebody already did you had to figure out where to put the deer crossing sign.
Exactly.
So
it obviously happens more than once.
Somebody already has that historical knowledge, right. And MDOT is
not just a stack of turtle shells.
Let's spend $500,000 to figure out how we can make the animals safer.
Right. Hand signals.
We could be like in Washington State and probably in other places as well. When I went back there after a couple of decades here, they have land bridges now that go over the highway, over the interstate, so that the animals can come down and just go over the interstate. And they actually use that area, and it reduces crashes.
Wow.
So I mean, that's good for us.
Oh, totally.
Very good for us.
How do you train them to do that? Is like breadcrumbs or?
Well, I don't know if they put like salt licks or anything like that in the area, but basically they just take advantage of the natural topography and say, okay, they're going to go this way anyway. Let's broaden that, make a buffer zone, put it over the thing, and put some deterrence along this area. Like, I don't know, got Michael Myers standing by the side there going, boo. Or a hunter. They just have a silhouette of a hunter.
Yeah.
With some
like those dark when they got the coyotes.
Yeah,
or
exactly.
Bigfoot or whatever.
Yes. Yeah. They'll put that there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. $500,000. That'll be interesting to see where. I wonder if they're going to actually concentrate some solutions in those areas. I wonder how many of those will be here, because we see a lot of deer in this area.
We do.
All right. That's some of the news that we're covering this morning in the WSJM newsroom. There's more that we'll be talking about in just a couple of moments. Also, as we mentioned, we're talking about fall foliage viewing and other great places to see the leaves turn. Although I tell you, a lot of them have already turned.
Yeah.
Again, the backyard, it was looking good on Friday, went away for the weekend, come back this morning, it's just covered again. It's just covered again. So we'll talk about that. I'll quiz Mike on some of the best areas in the Midwest and other places of the United States where you can see that fall foliage. That's coming up in just a couple of moments right here on the WSJM Morning Show. Also want to remind you that we do have our video live stream. It's going on Facebook and YouTube right now. Just go to your platform of choice, turn it on, and check it out. You can get some exclusive content behind the scenes, which will start right now on WSJM.
Ready, go.
Week 3 of the NFL yesterday had the Colts over the Bears.
All right, exclusive content. Go, you first.
Go.
Exclusive content. Let's see. Let's see. We'll talk about that one in a moment because I want to quiz you on the air. Oh, the Farm Bureau. We talked about this a little bit. Politics.
Their endorsement.
Yeah. U.S. House Representative Alyssa Slotkin dealt a blow when in the Michigan Senate race, when the Michigan Farm Bureau office, they have an Agri-PAC. This is their political action committee, Agri-PAC, endorsed her Republican opponent, former Representative Mike Rogers.
Interesting.
Potentially, what they say is potentially upending the very close race. Now, in Real Clear Politics has the average right now of a 5-point lead, a 5-point advantage of Slotkin over Rogers. Could this endorsement by the Farm Bureau make a 5-point difference? I don't know.
I don't know.
We'll see.
But we've kind of learned that polls, though,
they're increasingly inaccurate.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, because I mean, people like to know what's going on, and the polls aren't working. How do you respond when a poll comes in? Are you seeing polls either on your text or on your cell phone?
Yeah.
What do you do?
I really don't pay attention.
What do? You like delete them? Do you call them junk? What do you do?
Yeah.
all that stuff.
All that. Or they'll you get the text that says, if what could so and so do?
Yeah.
To stand out in this campaign.
Oh, you get those.
I get those.
Soliciting advice.
Yep.
Oh.
And then when I give it, they usually unsubscribe me. This happened quite a bit, actually.
Yeah. I've received a number of the polls and or the surveys for their polls, and I don't want to respond because number one, I don't know if it's a scam.
Right.
And so if I click it, something goofy happens. And number two, it's like, well, I mean, for a living, I do this. So I really shouldn't probably weigh in on that with somebody texting me who I don't know who that is.
Right. And where that's going.
Or where it's going or how that information will be used. Let's say good morning quickly to our folks on the video live stream. John Hawkins says, good morning, everyone. I pray you all have a wonderful and blessed day and week and more.
And more.
And more.
So much more.
One of our new newsroom people, he has a habit of putting and more when stuff is happening in news stories. I'm like, that is not news. We're not going to put and more anymore. And there's going to be a jar over here.
And more anymore.
And there's a jar over here every time you say and more. Let's see. Bill says, good morning, guys. And he also says, good morning, John. Oh, we've got weather, and we're going to come back right here.
Sunny and very quiet through the course of today. High temperatures around 70 degrees. As we head into tonight, we drop down to 60 for the overnight low. We do see an increase in the cloud cover and rain showers develop by the morning. And Tuesday, rain showers and thunderstorms and a high of only 70. I'm Chief Meteorologist Carrie Peugeot.
The Morning Show with Ken and Friends on 94.9 WSJM.
I love it when they have the forecast. It's going to be very quiet.
Quiet.
It's going to be a very quiet day.
So no horn beeping or loud music.
Yeah, just when you go outside today, just be very quiet.
Right.
Because it's going to be a very quiet day.
Just listen to some Mozart.
Yeah, Mozart. I love that they discovered something that he wrote that was previously really unknown. They called it, in one of the articles, they called it a gently used piece of music from the 1760s.
Yes.
From the 1760s. It's 59 degrees outside in Benton Harbor right now, mostly cloudy skies. Good morning. I'm Ken Lundberg. Mike Weibel is my guest co-host this morning. It's 7:18, and are you much for watching the leaves turn?
Yeah.
You know, turn colors and stuff.
Yeah, no, it's been like 3 years ago. We went up and did the Tunnel of Trees.
Did you really?
Yeah. Have you ever
Where
done
is that? No.
It's north of Petoskey.
Okay.
And it kind of goes along the lake, and it's an amazing trip. If you've never done it, you should do it. Especially
nice.
This time of year.
Yeah. And they were calling for a normal leaf turning year where in late October would be, or mid to late October, you'd see the peak. I think they're quite wrong.
I've heard that because of the dry weather, that they're turning early.
They are.
Yeah.
In fact, a lot of them have turned and died and fallen off their trees into my backyard.
Yes.
From all over the Midwest.
From all over the Midwest.
From all over the Midwest. Let's see. We have in the state of Michigan, in the Mitten State, we have the number 2. This is according to a USA Today 10 Best Reader's Choice Awards for 2024. And we have a number 2 best fall travel destination. And so I wanted to ask Mike a little bit this morning about what you think the best fall travel destinations are. Your first response was your wife says it's the Dominican Republic.
Yes.
Because, get out of the area altogether. But if you had to guess, and these are in the United States, in the continental United States. I'll give you a hint. There's nothing outside the continental United States.
Okay. Well, that narrows it down.
So any guesses on where the most beautiful place would be. We can either do United States or you can say in Michigan, where is it? There's only one on the Michigan Reader's Choice Award from USA Today. So your opportunity to guess.
I would say I'm going to go for Michigan.
Okay.
I'm going to go Traverse City.
Incorrect, but close. Close, but incorrect. Relatively close. Any other guesses? United States or Michigan? I'll give you number 10. Number 10 is Branson, Missouri.
Oh, I would not have gone south like that.
Number 9, would you go west to Cody, Wyoming?
Yes, I could see that.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm thinking Wyoming, you see pine trees. I don't know what else you see there.
Something.
Antelope, deer, bear, that kind of stuff. In let's see, number 8 of the locations that they say are the best best fall travel destinations. Number 8, Columbus, Ohio. Number 7, Loudoun County, Virginia. Number 6, I would probably agree with this one, Saratoga County in New York.
Yeah.
Estes Park in Colorado, which I think anywhere in Colorado is pretty. Lafayette in Louisiana, Allegheny County, Maryland, and then the number 2 best fall travel destination belongs to Michigan, Mackinac Island.
Oh, yeah.
Would you have chosen that?
No.
I like the Tunnel of Trees idea.
No, it's awesome.
Yeah. And the number 1 best fall travel destination in the United States, according to readers of the USA Today Best Reader's Choice Awards for 2024, is Gatlinburg, Tennessee.
Oh.
Wah, 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 wah. I don't know. I would
have thought Washington would have got in there somewhere.
Washington, D.C. or Washington State?
State.
Yeah.
Like a Seattle or a...
Best fall travel destination. I mean, you're probably going to have a lot more precipitation there. I don't know their exact, what they were using as their criteria for this. But let's see, what does this say here? As far as Mackinac goes, they like that it's car free. They like that the vibes are just right, they say, on Mackinac Island each fall. Crisp, sunny days with vibrant foliage gives way to a slower pace of life in this resort town. A carriage ride is one of the best ways to peep those leaves. Oh, Halloween weekend, they say, is always a fun event.
Because
kids can go trick-or-treat at the downtown shops, while the adults enjoy grown-up costume parties at local establishments later in the evening.
Exactly. So my daughter one time went with the Lakeshore Junior High marching band to Mackinac Island.
Oh, okay.
They did a performance there, and then they had
march around the island.
Yep.
Okay.
And then they had the rest of the time to do whatever they wanted.
Yeah.
She went bike riding. So there's those trails. She popped out of a trail, not knowing where they were going, and popped out of a trail onto a road and hit a fence. Flipped over the fence.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, geez.
And so whoever was there decided to call 911.
No.
Yeah. So then they
did you get the bill for this?
Yeah.
Okay.
So then they came with an ambulance and picked her up and transported her, I think, like 2 blocks. And then without the horse and carriage, it was actually legitimate. Got her there.
Oh, no.
She was triaged and released with 2 Tylenol.
Oh, geez.
And they charged us $985.
Oh, my.
Just for the Tylenol.
Really?
Yeah.
Not well. I mean, does that include like the ambulance ride?
No,
that was different.
Just the Tylenol.
Wow.
Which then I called up there and said to them,
Mike called.
I am going to go into the import export business if I can mark up Tylenol to $900 for 2.
Wow.
And they're like, well, you do have to bring it from the mainland. And I'm like, yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah. Do they swim it over?
Yeah. I mean, if they're charging, I'll give it to them for $450.
Exactly.
And I'll give them a whole bottle.
Right.
Wow, that's something else.
Yeah, it was a little crazy.
$965 for 2 Tylenol.
Yeah.
That's something else. So the ambulance they have up there, I mean, motorized vehicle, latest, greatest technology, all that.
I'm assuming, I wasn't there, but I'm assuming it's,
You guys still talk about that whole incident?
No.
Okay.
No.
Goes under the carpet.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. Are you more switching topics, talking a little bit about what's happening out west? because California seems to be at the cutting edge or the bleeding edge of a lot of different things. Are you a paper or plastic kind of guy?
Well, that's funny. I was listening to that this morning that they are now at 2026 outlawing all plastic bags.
No longer going to be a choice at grocery store checkout lines.
So isn't it interesting that at one point when we were all paper, that we went to plastic because we were cutting down the trees?
That's right. We wanted to save the trees.
Right. We were saving the trees because that was saving the environment.
Yes.
So we went to plastic, which is made out of oil.
Right. Petroleum.
So, right. So now a couple decades later, somebody's like, plastic bad, paper good. And so now we're back to paper.
The new measure approved by state legislators last month bans all plastic shopping bags starting in 2026 in California. This is California.
But there's like 12 states that have a ban.
Consumers who don't bring their own bags will now simply be asked if they want a paper bag. This is all because of State Senator, it's more, but State Senator Catherine Blakespear, one of the bill's supporters, said people were not reusing or recycling any plastic bags like they thought. So they thought getting away from the paper bags would help the environment with the trees. So they were going to do the plastic bags with the thought that people would recycle them. Instead, they're just ending up in the blowholes of whales because they're just floating out to sea in the garbage piles.
So we're spending $500,000 to find out where a turtle crosses the road, but nobody can figure out that people are not going to recycle.
She pointed to a state study that found the amount of plastic shopping bags trashed per person grew from 8 pounds per year in 2004 to 11 pounds per person per year in 2021. So 11 pounds. How much? Plastic bag weighs like nothing.
Feather. Right?
Yeah. 11 pounds per year. That's a lot.
I'm a recycler. I do recycle, but I can, in my neighborhoods in the past, I'm like one of few people that have a recycling bin.
Yeah.
Because I realize it's a hassle sometimes.
Does it go anywhere though?
That's another question.
Because it really depends on kind of the market price of the recycled goods.
Right.
On whether or not your recycled stuff goes away to get recycled, turns into a fleece sweatshirt or something like that, some towel that won't ever pick up any moisture.
Exactly. Because it's plastic.
Or goes right in the garbage.
Yeah. So, but you're donating the stuff free to the garbage companies who are repurposing and selling it.
If they can make money,
right, you would think it would be a win-win somewhere, but obviously now we are cutting down trees again.
Yeah. Plastic bags create pollution in our environment and break into microplastics that contaminate our drinking water and threaten our health, said one of the groups that was pushing for it. Californians voted to ban plastic grocery bags in their state almost a decade ago, but the law needed a redo. With the governor's signature, California has finally banned plastic bags in grocery checkout lines once and for all.
Well, you never do find a story where a whale has a paper bag in its blowhole.
That is true.
That's a good point.
That is true. And then one other trash related story, because we have a couple of seconds here.
Talking trash.
Trash balloons. We talked about trash pandas already. We talked about paper versus plastic.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about trash balloons. South Korea's Joint Chiefs of Staff said today that Seoul, South Korea, may respond militarily to any casualties caused by North Korea's continuing and ongoing launching of so-called trash balloons across the shared border.
So
trash balloons. Have you heard this before?
No,
yes.
No.
Yeah. They launched. They look like weather balloons.
Yeah.
But they attach bags of trash to them, and they strategically point them so that they float over South Korea and then dump.
That sounds like a high school prank.
It is.
Doesn't it?
It's exactly. North Korea's gray zone provocations are continuing and causing inconvenience.
You think?
Not to mention the smell and anxiety to the public. So we've summarized the military's position to date and delivered a message, said a spokesperson for South Korea's Joint Chiefs of Staff. This is an internationally shameful and petty act. Can you imagine if Canada started floating trash balloons over us? That'd be so rude. And they're so nice.
They are. They're very nice.
But South and North Korea just really can't get along. They say it's designed to create discomfort and anxiety among our people, and it's really a low-level act intended to incite conflict.
I would say so.
Yeah.
I mean, if somebody took my garbage can and floated it over the neighbor's fence and then dumped it, I would say he'd be upset.
North Korea, get this. North Korea so far has launched a total of 5,500 trash balloons at South Korea on 22 occasions. 5,500 trash balloons.
So this is way beyond
with
high school
raccoons
prank.
hanging on them,
Right.
going woo.
Bombs away.
Approximately 120 of them were launched over the weekend.
Over the weekend.
Yeah, just this last weekend. So South Korea, North Korea. Let's see. Yeah, that's about it for that story.
So obviously the wind must blow towards South Korea.
I guess.
Must be just too easy to
they just wait for the weather forecast.
Right.
They're looking at the official weather forecaster in North Korea going, better have some winds there.
Because otherwise, I say when the wind shifted, you could just pick it all up and send it back over the fence.
Well, right. Yeah. All right. So hopefully that doesn't end in too much of a mess. All right. We'll have more news. We've got ABC News coming up in just a moment. Our latest news from the WSJM newsroom and more right here on the WSJM Morning Show. Hang on. And your news this hour is being brought to you in part by Hassey's Towing and Crane Service. The trucks with the red, white, and blue Hassey's Towing and Crane Service. We'll be right back.
Have you been thinking about building your savings? Probably. Has it been hard to set money?
I hope people understand our humor. I mean, it is a pain. Can you imagine? Let's take it from a country down to a neighborly type thing.
Yeah.
What if you had, I don't know, do you live on 10 acres?
No.
Okay, you live on maybe an acre. 2 acres. Okay. So let's say your neighbor, who also has 2 acres, let's say, starts launching trash balloons at you because he doesn't like your barbecue parties. What do you do after a while? Trash balloons. Because they're big balloons. You can't launch a fighter jet to go shoot them down.
Right.
Because they're too small.
Right. Well, so when I lived in Florida,
you had trash balloon incidents?
kind of.
Okay.
So we had a bunch of oak trees, and so we would get this heavy down drop of leaves.
Oh no.
And my neighbor would mow his yard and blow the leaves over into my yard.
Oh no. Really?
Yeah.
That's rude.
So that went on a couple times. I said something to him about it, and he basically said,
Wait a second. How did you say this?
I was like, hey,
He's like,
I
walk
noticed
over.
when you mow that it seems like most of the leaves come on my side. And he
So
was like,
diplomatic.
well, I'll watch that. Well, he didn't. So then I went to work in the maintenance garage and got one of the parking lot blowers.
Was he your age or younger?
He was older.
He was older. Okay.
So I got one of those parking lot big commercial blowers, and I blew all the leaves from my yard.
Did you really?
Over into his, yeah. And it was like 16 inches deep in his yard.
Oh,
and
no.
He came home from work and he was like,
oh no,
what the? And he comes over and I was like, so can we call a truce?
Did you really?
Yeah. And I went over and helped him clean up the leaves, and it never happened again. So
you're such a nice guy.
Well, other than I got out the nuclear blower.
You brought a leaf blower to a knife fight.
Exactly.
That's funny. That's funny. What kind of trees? Where? I mean,
so
it's Florida. It does. They never have a fall.
They have oak trees,
and they the leaves turn every.
They do in a major way.
Okay. All right. We'll be right back. It's the WSJM Morning Show. Right now, we've got Bloomberg on the radio, so let's tune into that.
The company gears up to start production of the next Chevy Bolt electric vehicle. Automotive News reported that the cuts involved almost 1,700 GM workers and would start in November when production of the Chevy Malibu ends. Southwest Airlines is warning employees it will announce some tough decisions in the days ahead. The airline is working to restore profits and help fend off changes that are being demanded by an activist investor. Southwest has already been making changes, including ditching its history of not assigning seats. But the chief operating officer told employees by video that it's not enough. Southwest will release a new flight schedule on Wednesday. Stocks finished last week overall with gains, but the rally lost steam Friday, and it was a mixed close. Gina Cervetti, Bloomberg Radio.
The Morning Show with Ken Lundberg on WSJM.
59 degrees in Benton Harbor, cloudy skies. 61 in St. Joseph this morning. 61 in South Haven as well. 56 in Dowagiac, and it may feel a little bit cooler than what you're experiencing temperature-wise, what you're seeing on the thermometer because of the winds. And today's forecast does call for partly sunny skies, mild conditions today. A high maybe getting up to 72. Could be a little chillier than that. North winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Boy, that rain this weekend.
Ooh, intense.
That was something else.
But today they actually say the word is quiet.
Yeah, it's going to be quiet today.
The word for the day is quiet.
Nice quiet day. I'm Ken Lundberg. Mike Weibel's over there giving us the quiet forecast. We've got more coming up after this from ABC.
ABC News, I'm Brian Clark. Authorities in Lebanon say today's Israeli airstrikes killed 100 people. Israel says it struck more than 300 targets as it goes after Hezbollah. ABC's chief global affairs correspondent Martha Raddatz is in Tel Aviv.
The IDF now warning that extensive, precise strikes aimed at targets across Lebanon are far from over, and that civilians around them should flee. This comes after a weekend of Hezbollah firing more than 150 rockets into northern Israel.
The Middle East expected to be a major topic at the UN General Assembly. It begins today. Congressional leaders have a bipartisan agreement on a government funding bill to avoid a shutdown. It boosts funding for the Secret Service. Pope Francis canceled his audiences today. The Vatican says the 87-year-old is in a slight flu-like state, but that he still plans to travel to Belgium and Luxembourg this week. This is ABC News.
WSJM News Now. Team coverage from the WSJM Newsroom on News Talk Sports 94.9 WSJM.
7:36 is the WSJM Morning Show. Good morning. We're happy to have you here with us. Some of the news that we're following from the WSJM Newsroom. Flu season is just around the corner. Yay. So medical professionals are recommending you get a flu shot and a COVID vaccine. Have you vaccinated up? Do you vaccine up, flu shot or anything like that?
Yeah, on occasion.
Okay, on occasion.
Yeah.
I'll probably get both the flu shot, and I've talked myself into getting the COVID vaccine again this year. I don't think it's gonna have ill effect. One of the other gents in our newsroom got it, and he was fine.
So I like the fact that vaccine now is a very broad term. Like when we were kids and you got a smallpox vaccine or a polio vaccine, so you didn't get it.
Right.
And now we're just sort of like, hey,
maybe
this vaccine might make you feel better, or you may not, but we're not promising anything.
You make a really good point there. I know the stuff morphs quite a bit. And so the things that morph and change, that you have to do on an annual basis. But the stuff that doesn't change that rapidly, the strains don't, turn different. I would like to investigate that. I'm not a biomedicist or whatever you call it.
But the whole vaccine word has gotten kind of loosey-goosey.
The one thing I do not appreciate is that there's now, I guess I appreciate it because there's a vaccine for everything, but at the same time, it's like, hey, have you got this vaccine or that vaccine or this vaccine or that vaccine? Right. There's like 23 different vaccines out there.
There is.
For stuff. And it's like, do I really need it?
Exactly.
All right. We shouldn't be talking about this on the air, though. But we will talk about it in just a moment. And we'll talk
segment sponsored by Pfizer.
No, it's not. No, this segment imposed by Pfizer. So the flu shot and the COVID vaccine, the new one's out there for the COVID anyway, and you're advised by medical professionals, not yahoos like us.
We are not medical professionals.
To go get your vaccine. So because at the worst case scenario, it reduces your the severity of an illness you might receive. The latest
or not.
Or that's Mike. The latest housing report, other news, the latest housing report shows a strong real estate market in Southwest Michigan as the market broke the 300 mark for sales for the first time this year. Association executive at the Southwestern Michigan Association of Realtors, Ellen Jeffries, says it has to do with people expecting that interest rate move that we received last week. And so we'll talk a little bit about those numbers. And then Present Pillars in Benton Harbor is planning on an expungement resource fair for next month. We'll tell you a little bit more about that, what that means, and who should register for that event. That's coming up at 8 o'clock in our newscast there. We've got sports coming up in just a moment. Dave Wolf is going to recap everything that happened over the weekend. Sports-wise, as it relates to us, do you watch any games on Friday, high school football? Do you keep up with anything?
I didn't watch. Of course, I'm on the Brett Witkowski text update, so I get that.
Oh.
And then checked in on the radio to see how my Lakeshore Lancers were doing. And
how'd they do?
They
did great.
They lost.
Oh.
They lost. 41-37.
So what are they, 0-3, 0-4? Where
Yeah, they haven't won anything yet.
Okay.
But they did set a school record in reception yards, which was kind of cool.
That's great.
Yeah.
Good job, guys.
And then according to Brett, St. Joe won like in the first 5 minutes of the game. But of course, I would love to say he's not biased, but he's horribly biased when it comes to St. Joe.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I guess next week is the St. Joe Lakeshore game.
It is.
So I have to prepare for our bet. Now, he said the other day when I was listening about bets, that he likes to get donuts.
Okay.
But then he said that he couldn't drink whole milk because he's diabetic. There was talk about milk, but it had nothing to do with diabetes.
Yeah, I do remember that, and I couldn't remember why he said something. He couldn't drink it, but yes, go on.
So I'm like, so he's eating jelly donuts. But he
Someone
can't drink
needs to
whole milk?
link him up with a dietitian.
Yeah, I mean, we're not medical professionals,
No.
but that just seems to be another bad idea.
But we've got the video live stream going, and in just a moment, I want to ask you, Mike, about the basketball game from Friday. But we'll make that exclusive content available on the video live stream because you have a report, a sports report, a scouting report, as it were.
I do. I was there
about Brett Witkowski and his basketball quote unquote game. So we'll have that in just a moment right here on the video live stream only on WSJF.
The Michigan News Network.
I'm Beth Fisher. Dozens of Michigan crime victims and their families are on their way.
All right, so now we're going to get in trouble. Brett is probably screeching his vehicle as he's driving to or from work or whatever he's doing, going, I got to get on the video live stream. What's he going to say about me? Yeah. So every Friday, Brett Witkowski has this, it's like a club or a league or something. I don't know. It's just
Geezer basketball. Geezer basketball.
Geezer basketball is what Mike calls it. And so it's basketball. They get together Friday afternoon and they play a little bit of a friendly basketball game.
Yeah, lunchtime basketball.
And Brett recently invited Mike. He may uninvite him now after this report, but how did Brett do on Friday?
He didn't have a great scoring game. And there was something that happened, and I don't remember exactly the context, but in the middle of it, he pointed at me and said, don't say anything about that on the radio.
Well, and we're honoring that wish.
We are.
Because we're only doing it on the video live stream.
Exactly. So it's very exclusive to those favorite fans. But yeah, he was just last couple of weeks he's been off a little bit with his shot. When I the first
is he
time
throwing
I played,
up bricks or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, is he even hitting the rim?
Yeah, he does that,
All right.
and he gets really irritated when he does not hit a shot.
I can see that. Yeah.
There's a lot of come on, I mean, it's I'm horrible. Wow. Because he said, hey, it's a friendly game. We just get together. It's a lot of things like that, and then all of a sudden you'll hear, yeah!
He gets a little intense.
He is intense.
Yeah,
but we love him. He's awesome.
That's funny. I mean, do you guys keep score during these games?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Did you win? Did you win?
We play. We'll play like games till 7, and so you might in an hour we might play 5-6 games. So, and we rotate through, so it's not the same teams. We have subs, and it's just more a reason to get together and goof off.
Yeah, just have fun. Okay.
Like one of our oldest players is 76, and he's probably one of the best. I mean, he's amazing.
Yeah, the way you guys talk is that this person, he is running out there like he's 27.
Oh yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
All right, just checking on the video live stream. Our comments from folks. Good morning, guys. From Bill. Let's see. Norman says that we use our bags. This is talking about the plastic bags. He says we use our bags for kitty litter, which is a great idea.
Yeah.
I imagine probably the cleaning out of the situation. Let's see.
But then they're not recycling, right?
Bill says, I mean, the mantra is reduce, reuse, recycle. So I guess that would go into the reuse.
Yeah.
Into the reuse piece. Bill says, put a price on plastic and people will recycle. Maybe, maybe not. I mean, because you've got cans, they already have a deposit on them. So that's a price on them.
Right.
And then in some places, they have put like a dime a bag.
Right.
Dime bags. That's kind of funny.
Goes back to Iron Maiden.
And people still, do whatever they do with the plastic bags. But it's a good idea. I mean, just raise the price. Although they did that on cigarettes, and apparently people are still smoking.
Right.
Let's see what else. Canada. Oh, Bill also says Canada brings in their trash by the trucks.
By the trucks.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
and then Teresa says, "Good morning, everyone. What in the world are you talking about?" No, she didn't say that last part. She didn't say that last part. All right. Let's see. It's a Monday.
Monday.
Yeah. It's gonna be a good week. Anything fun or special planned this week?
Let's see. Today, I'm actually playing golf. Which sounds like that's my part-time job. But,
that's all you do.
Well, yeah.
No,
Well, the window's closing on golf, so you got to squeeze in as much as you can.
Okay, I see.
But this is the first tee event, so there's a first tee event at Harbor Shores.
Okay, nice.
It's a 9-hole scramble.
Okay.
With we play with first tee participants.
Oh, great. Okay.
Yeah. So
some of the young kids.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's just fun
That's
to get out
great.
there. Yeah.
That's
so
a nice
I got
thing.
invited to play, and so I'm going to go do it.
Go represent.
3:00.
We will expect a full report on Friday, if that's all right.
Yep. I'll come ready to
We'll
go.
talk a little bit about it.
Yeah.
And for those people who don't know, do you want to talk a little bit about First Tee? Or you want me to pull it up on the web so I can get it right?
No, I mean, so our local chapter of First Tee is the director is Evan Sanders, who's an awesome guy. And they just do tremendous work on obviously teaching young people on how to play golf, but it's also about developing sportsmanship and character. And just, there's a lot of applications to, well, golf is a frustrating, struggling game.
It can be,
i.e. / life.
Yep.
So you can learn a lot of coping skills and whatnot in that environment. And it just is in fact, one of the guys in the office is bringing his son, who's 5, to the First Tee this year, and they go to Blossom Trails and learn how to putt.
Nice.
And a great story. So his youngest son is 2, and his wife is there with the phone, and he's putting, and he goes, Are you recording? Are you recording? I putt like daddy. So he hits the ball, and the ball rolls like probably 2 foot from the hole, and then he goes, watch. And then he hits it and blows it by like 10 foot. And I said, well, he does putt like daddy. Look at there, But no, it's a cool, such a great organization. And they have their, they do a fundraiser in the end of October.
Okay.
They do a golf tournament out at Lost Dunes.
Okay.
And we're the golf ball sponsor once again for that event.
Oh.
So it's just, it's a great day, great organization. And if you've got a young person, grandchild, child, whatever, and you think, well, what we could do next summer that you should introduce them to the First Tee events. It's a great pastime. Maybe the kid's not a soccer player, maybe he's a golfer.
Yeah. Or you can be all the above.
Right.
But you nailed it with the description of what First Tee is.
Did I?
Yeah, you did. I mean, First Tee is a youth development organization that enables kids to build the strength of character that empowers them through a lifetime. Yeah, that's exactly right.
I have great conversations with Evan Sanders. And
that's great. So it rubbed off on you.
It did.
Okay.
It did. He's also the Benton Harbor golf coach.
When is that happening? That's today.
Yes. The scramble is today.
And then the fundraiser is in late October.
But
we will ask them to come in. In fact, if you want to talk to them and ask them if they'd come in and be a guest on the morning show, I would be happy to open my calendar and schedule them in sometime in October.
And yes, no, that'd be awesome. I'm sure he would love it.
Okay. That'll be fun. All right. It's 7:47. We've got the WSJM morning show underway. Mike Weibel is here. Brett Witkowski told me he doesn't want to do Mondays anymore.
What?
Well, he's lazy. No. No, he's not. He's not. He's like the most overcommitted individual I know. He's always doing something.
All Brett wants to do is sit in the backyard and look at his siding. That's what he wants to do.
We'll talk about that in just a moment, right here on the WSJM Morning Show.
Through the course of today, high temperatures around 70 degrees. As we head into tonight, we drop down to 60 for the overnight low. We do see an increase in the cloud cover and rain showers develop by the morning. And Tuesday, rain showers and thunderstorms and a high of only 70. I'm Chief Meteorologist Carrie Peugeot.
The Morning Show with Ken Lundberg on WSJM.
And good morning. Welcome back to the WSJM Morning Show. We're having way too much fun on the video live stream today. If you ever miss an episode of what we do on the video live stream, you can just go to Facebook and type in WSJM and look at our video archive there. Same for YouTube, but whatever your platform of choice is. and take a look and see what we've done.
done.
Look what we did. And we just had a great conversation about Brett Witkowski and his basketball game or lack thereof.
And his sighting. We talked about his sighting.
We really haven't talked too much about his sighting. I feel like I really need to drive by and see what his thing was, because this summer his home project was
sighting.
Have the siding redone.
He was like, these guys are amazing. They're amazing.
Yeah, for 8 straight weeks he told us they're amazing.
Yeah, they're going to be done in 5 weeks. How long did it take? 8 weeks, but they're amazing.
Yeah. And then let's see. You've got pickleball on the mind. You want to say anything of that?
Yeah. So this was South Shore Health and Racquetball Club's grand opening of their pickleball facility.
This last weekend?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I missed my invite.
Yeah. Well, next time.
Okay.
The Lancasters did their grand opening, and it was, I guess, a really huge success. It was 74 pickleballers. Is that what you call them? Pickleballers?
Sure.
And 40, I believe it was 49 teams. And I guess it was a 2-day event.
Wow.
And I heard while I was out there,
just nonstop pickleball?
Just pickleball mania.
Okay.
And that it is the nicest pickleball facility in a 75-mile radius.
Really?
I don't know how you measure that, but that's what I was told.
With a yardstick.
Right. and when I said we were the golf ball sponsor for First Tee, what I should have said was Baird is the golf ball spot, and we also were the title sponsor of this event. So
very good. Okay. So there was a lot of pickleball happening.
There was. In fact, Baird as a company has sponsored the last 2 years the professional pickleball tour, which until that time I didn't even realize there was a professional level of pickleball.
Oh yeah.
Until we became a sponsor, and then realized, wow, this is exciting and also getting out of control.
It's a serious game.
It is.
It's a serious game, and I love driving by the St. Joe High School and seeing the tennis courts that have all been converted to pickleball courts, at least the first couple of courts there. And they hit that ball so fast.
Oh,
it's just incredible.
You know, we've talked about before about Dave McNamara. Dave McNamara plays twice a week for 3 hours.
He plays pickleball now?
Twice a week.
Okay.
Marcia has got him out there playing. And I don't know if he wears a helmet and elbow pads or how it looks. I'm pretty sure he's got a batter's helmet on. But he is all about it, and then complains on how sore he is all weekend long.
That's fantastic. And that's where again?
He's playing at the senior center.
But the event this weekend was?
It was at South Shore Health and Racquetball Club.
Oh, okay. That's fun. I mean, if they're the best facility for pickleball within a 75-mile radius, that's really nice for the region. Because maybe they'll draw in some tournaments or something. Maybe they already are.
And we were talking before, they actually have a lounge facility that you can watch pickleball from with like a beverage.
Study your opponents.
Yeah,
watch and see what kind of spin they put on the ball.
I noticed there was beer in the fridge, so there's obviously it's a full-fledged sporting event.
Wait a second, no kidding.
So I guess it's and hopefully
are there people in the stands with the little beer hats with the straws that come down to your mouth?
I didn't see
watching
that
pickleball
part of it, but I'm sure it's getting there. It'll get there.
Do you have to eat pickles while you watch pickleball?
No, but
that'd be cool if you did.
There was a couple T-shirts with pickles on it, which I thought was interesting. But no, hopefully this draws in. I mean, if it's all that and 2 bags of chips, so hopefully we get some competitive pickleball tournaments in the area that draw some commerce into St. Joe.
That is always good stuff. All right. Well, thank you for that pickleball update. We're going to make you our official pickleball spokesperson. Correspondent. Yeah. Whatever you want.
All right.
We'll do it.
Awesome.
All right. We have some political things to talk about before we close out the hour about Governor Gretchen Whitmer on one of the Sunday programs refusing to take sides on another a little squabble between a couple of elected officials here in Michigan. I don't know. I know. And they're all of the same party again. So I don't know what's happening, but we'll tell you about that CNN interview coming up in just a moment, right here on the WSJM Morning Show.
It's got to be the best buy one, get one offer ever. Buy or lease a Toyota Tundra or Tacoma.
I did see that, and I'm amazed by it. So
it's pretty impressive.
We were talking about pickleball, but all of a sudden, we're driving down Main Street there in St. Joseph, and you see the St. Joe Hotel,
Silver Beach
Hotel in St. Joe has a brand new paint job.
Yeah.
It's got that new green color that seems to be everywhere.
Yeah,
and
the whole
geodesic
side-
thing. Yeah,
the kind of the whole mosaic kind of
Yeah.
thing going on, and
that's kind of cool.
I mean, it's been a little bit of a rundown ice, and I was like, they have kicked the clogs out of it. I mean, it's looks nice.
Were you as surprised as I was that how quickly that thing just all of a sudden overnight? It's like, hey, they painted it.
Yeah,
That whole thing.
yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I saw them on the lift painting it white, and I was like, well, that's really boring. And then all of a sudden it was yellow, and then I was like, oh, this is actually turning out. I don't think they're done yet.
Oh,
I
okay.
actually think it's got more to go, but it's
leave good enough alone. It
hats
looks
off-
good right now
Hats off to them for
for making an improvement.
Yes.
Making a statement. I hope people like it. I wonder if people like it.
it's way better than what it was, and
Yeah.
I think it's very nice. I mean, I vote thumbs up, 2 thumbs up.
I think I agree because before it was just a plain canvas. It was
Yeah.
a blank canvas.
Right.
And now there's something on it. So something's better than nothing, I think, in this case.
Yeah, especially when you're coming into town on Blue Star, and that's kind of like the first thing you see there at the stoplight.
Did they paint that side of it, the north side of it? Because I
don't-
saw the south side is painted.
south side in the front is
And the front,
painted,
yeah.
So
Okay. Yeah, on the north side they should put deer crossing. You know, deer
yeah.
crossing there.
Right.
They
Or-
reduce the deer
or
accident.
stop the garbage balloons
Or
sign.
stop the garbage balloons. Save a trash man to stop the garbage balloons. All right, we're being silly.
No.
Well, yeah.
Mm.
Let's see what else we have to talk about this morning. We ran through a lot this morning. Oh boy. Okay. Just looking at some news tips here.
Wolfgang Mozart. We talked about that.
We did talk about that one already.
His mom was a scrapbooker, and we didn't know that.
You're so bad.
And then I did give earlier a German accent, but I am German.
So you're allowed.
It was not cultural misappropriation or making fun of anything other than my family. My father-in-law lives with us. He has a German accent. He's 99 years old.
Really?
Yeah. And
Wow.
so I mimic him quite often. And that's why I have my Mozart was in his later holes. See, I've got that down.
Did you know it's Bruce Springsteen's birthday today?
No.
You want to take a guess?
Bruce. Let's see. I'm going to go with 76.
I will tell you the answer to that in just a moment.
Mm.
Right here on the WSJM Morning Show.
Video live? Can they vote in on video live and what they think it is?
If they would like, sure, yeah.
Let's go.
It's going to be in 30 seconds or less. Tell us how old you think Bruce Springsteen is without Googling it,
Yeah,
please.
no cheating.
No cheating. Let's see. Oh, John Hawkins and Teresa just said, what is pickleball?
What is pickleball?
Pickleball. So you have, remember the practice wiffle ball?
Yeah.
That it's that size, but I don't. Are there holes in the pickleball?
there are.
Okay,
There
so
are.
there are holes in the pickleball. So they play with a wiffle, and the racket, the head on the racket is probably about this big.
Yeah.
Like as big as your head, and they just it's I'm gonna say less than half the size of a tennis court. One side of the tennis court.
Yep.
Less than half of a half. So like a
And a
quarter.
shorter net.
Okay, we've got to get back
So
here.
it's
Hang on,
sort of
hang
like-
on, hang on.
Oh.
See, we've got to talk here when the music runs out. Sorry, we're on the WSJM video live stream here, and somebody asked a great question: what is pickleball?
I was going to say, I think a great way to describe it is if tennis and
Ping pong.
had
Yep.
a baby,
Yes.
right? Because it's kind of like a ping pong paddle,
Yeah, a little bigger.
right?
Yep.
And then a shorter court.
Yep.
And I believe it's pretty much similar rules as tennis,
Okay.
but
Yeah.
it's
It's
all-
incredibly fast paced, and it's a hard wiffle ball.
yeah.
And the sound that it makes when it continues hitting that racket is pretty intense.
It is. It
Pretty
is.
intense.
But people are all about, I mean, it's like a bug. People catch that bug and they're
Yeah.
all about it.
Yeah, absolutely. So anyway, we think it could mean for some good economic activity if it continues to catch fire as it already has. So we were talking on the video live stream also about Bruce Springsteen. The boss has a birthday today, and your guess was 76 years old.
That was my guess.
That was your guess. And we asked people on the video live stream, and Teresa got it right. She guessed 75.
Ooh.
He is 70. The boss, Bruce Springsteen,
75.
who was born to run and born in the USA, was born on this day.
Born on this day.
75 years ago. 75 years ago. Other notable birthdays today. Julio Iglesias, 81.
Bueno.
Jason Alexander, who's George Costanza on Seinfeld, 65.
Oh.
Yeah, he holds his age very well.
Does.
Look at that. Look at that. So anyway, that's we've got more stuff to talk about on the WSJM Morning Show. Right now, we've got 58 degrees and partly cloudy skies outside in Benton Harbor, 60 degrees and partly cloudy in St. Joseph. We've got news and weather. We've got the latest from ABC and then our WSJM newsroom. It's all right here on the WSJM Morning Show.
From ABC News, I'm Brian.
And thank you so much to everyone watching on the video live stream today. Have a fabulous Monday, the rest of your Monday. Thank you for joining us.
Yes.
What else?
No, awesome day.
Yep.
Enjoy your quiet Monday. Weather's supposed to be quiet.
The weather forecast
so
for
don't
today.
make a bunch of noise.
Quiet. So
It's a
keep it
quiet
down when
Monday
you go
in
outside.
the Twin Cities, and don't go swimming because the buoys are gone.
Teresa had a thumbs up, that she won the How Old is Bruce contest.
That's right. And we now know it's Bruce Springsteen's. So today on your playlist should be Bruce Springsteen.
Yes.
Mozart.
Yes.
And Iron Maiden.
Why Iron Maiden? I mean, I like Iron Maiden.
Because it's their 50th anniversary tour this year.
That is their 50th anniversary. But they're going to start off in the UK. And I imagine they're probably going to do it in the US next week. Oh, who's out there?
I don't know.
Well, we'll have to see.
But I think they're going to call it, I think it's called the Broken Hip Tour.
Oh, boy.
No? Is that wrong?
All right. Well, thank you for joining us on the video live stream, and we'll see you tomorrow.